Let's get to some macro data. Now, with most of Q2 data like export, import, IIP, PMI, GST, analysts have begun downgrading the Q2 GDP growth forecast. Now, CNBC-TV18 poll indicated that 60% of the economists have cut their growth forecast in the past few weeks. Lata is now joining in. She's done this poll and she joins in with her editor's take. Lata.
Yes, now that most of the August-September data is in, and many of it were found to be soft, we decided to do a poll, and our poll indicated that 60% of the economists whom we had polled have cut their estimates, GDP estimates, for the second quarter, and the cut is between 10 and 40 basis points. So now the average second quarter GDP is coming in at 6.79%. Earlier, it had come in at 6.91%. Obviously, not everyone is at 6.79. The largest number of economists were at 6.8, but there were some who were lower. The Reserve Bank's own forecast is 7% for the second quarter, which they announced in the October policy. But in the August policy, they had 7.2. So they've already brought it down by 20 basis points. For the full year, there were fewer respondents, but there as well, the average has come down in the past month to 6.85% from an earlier average of 6.91%. 20% of the analysts polled have brought down their forecast for the full year, but another 30% said that there is a downside risk to their forecast, but they have not changed it. The reasons for the slowdown, which people mentioned: one, the September imports have clearly remained flat year on year and have fallen by about 15% month on month from August to September. That is the immediate reason. The export data from September to September has remained flat. August IIP was minus 0.1%. August core sector was minus 1.8%. The September PMI came in at an 8-month low, but it was high at 56 plus. And the September GST collections came in at only 6% compared to a nominal GDP growth of 10 to 11%. That is low. It's also the lowest, probably the lowest growth since COVID. Now, the earnings data also forecasts show that it is going to be a muted quarter. Motilal Oswal says that the Q2 Nifty earnings growth will be only 2% and that the margin tailwinds are also declining. This impacts the GVA, and MK also says that the Q2 Nifty EPS is likely to grow at only 5%. Put all this together and you can see why economists are lowering their Q2 GDP growth forecasts.
Got it. Thanks a lot. Well, thanks so much for tuning in to CNBC TV 18. Make sure you follow us and stay updated on all our social media platforms.